What happens when you add a top-of-the-line supercritical foam like PEBA to a daily trainer? What happens when you replace the foam of that daily trainer with PEBA? Let's review the Saucony Triumph 22 because that's what they did and it's an interesting case. Hey everyone and welcome back on the channel. My name is Alex. In today's video we have the review of the Saucony Triumph 22, a shoe that has a massive upgrade compared to the previous version, the Saucony Triumph 21, because the midsole compound has been changed. It has been replaced and now you have Pwrrun PB, a bedded PEBA midsole compound from Saucony, the one that you have on the Endorphin Speed, Endorphin Pro. A very popular compound, by the way, but something that wasn't necessarily meant for a daily trainer, an all-rounder shoe like the Triumph is. First of all, let's look into the specs of this shoe. We have 37 millimeters of stack height in the heel, 10 millimeters drop. It's actually written on the insole of the shoe, and 27 millimeters in the forefoot. A weight that in my size US 11 EU 45 is about 330 grams, so on the heavier side of things. And a shoe that comes at $160, 190 euros, always quite a big discrepancy between euros and dollars with Saucony. Let's look into the upper, and the upper is a very plush, thick piece of material. You have a super padded heel, one of the most padded heel I have seen this year, a very thick and comfortable plush tongue. The rest of the material, not very breathable, not necessarily the upper I would consider for hotter days, warmer days, but this is a nice upper when it comes to comfort, plushness, and that feeling of having a very well-wrapped foot. The fit is true to size. I had a bit of a heel slip on the first day, but it was super rainy when I used this shoe for the first time. The days following that first experience, it was better in the heel, not perfect, but better. I think it also comes from that fabric that is very thin and almost flimsy, and you have a bit of slippage because of that. I haven't done a runner's knot, no need for it, so quite nice. The insole is removable. Saucony actually has some nice insoles. I wouldn't call them perfect, but compared to industry standards, they're a bit higher up. Looking at the midsole, that's where everything is happening, and Pwrrun PB, that PEBA midsole from Saucony, bedded PEBA, is replacing what used to be Pwrrun Plus, if I remember well, on the Triumph 21, Triumph 20. The first very obvious effect is that the shoe became a bit more stiff. The squish test, when you squish the shoe, it's not as plush and as soft as it used to be. And that translates directly into even the first steps. Walking with the shoe, you can feel that this ride is going to be firmer and denser underfoot. You don't have the same plushness and the same softness as on the Triumph 20 and Triumph 21. How does it ride? Actually, when you start running in the shoe, the first steps at easier paces are not super pleasant because this is, a lot of material condensed together. It feels very dense underfoot. It feels like it has a good potential of responsiveness at faster paces, but the first steps at slower paces are definitely not super pleasant. The 10 millimeters make you go a bit looking for that heel strike, and I was a bit mixed in terms of feelings. Very high stack height in the heel, that density of foam underfoot, and nothing really happening at slower paces. I was a bit puzzled, but then moving up to faster paces, switching gears, the Pwrrun PB started to be a bit more joyful, a bit more playful, and the shoe became more responsive, more interesting also to run in, and around a bit slower than marathon pace, I would say for me, 410, 415, 420 per kilometer. I was cruising along and I felt quite nice in a shoe that is actually on the heavier side of things. Most of the weight disappeared thanks to the responsiveness brought by the Pwrrun PB compound. I was less on my heel and I was a bit more snappy when it came to how I was running. It obviously came not just from the shoe but also just from the pace at which I was running. But the shoe felt less like a brick and more like a companion, a cruising companion, very generous in terms of what it was giving back when I was kind of pounding it, smashing it with some weight and some force at faster paces. Width of the platform here plays a huge role. It's much wider actually compared to the Triumph 20 and Triumph 21. It offers stability. The density of the foam actually gives some inherent stability. The width of the platform gives some extra inherent stability. And therefore, no matter the paces, you can really move along quite nice in urban environments where the pavement, the concrete may not be super even and you have some obstacles. This shoe feels a bit like a Range Rover, like a a 4x4 cruiser, you can pound the ground and it will work quite well. The biggest issue, the outsole has literally no grip. It's one of the worst outsoles I have ever tried, and this becomes recurring theme with Saucony. I just don't understand how a good running brand like Saucony still has a grip that is subpar, and this is not even subpar, this is really far down the grip rankings. Please Saucony, address that, because if you don't, you will just lose people from bad experiences in your shoes. The grip here was so bad that I actually just shortened one of my runs. It was wet and I had absolutely no traction in the forefoot. I was losing energy, I was getting frustrated, and that's all because of a poor grip compound. I'm not saying that everyone should be at the level of Puma with their Puma grip or use continental rubber like Adidas does. But this here is really not helping the shoe to get a good assessment. $160 I think is fair. €190 is a bit too much for the shoe. Yes, you have a very fancy compound, but it remains an all-rounder, and I think it should not be above €170. You're paying for the look of the shoe that has been a bit redesigned. It has some of the design language of the Endorphin Pro, Endorphin Speed series. Nevertheless, you have a good all-rounder that you cannot use on wet surfaces, with very good stability thanks to the density, the width, also those extra reinforcement here in the heel helping you really stay aligned. So that's all very positive, in my opinion. Nevertheless, this shoe for me is better than the 20 and the 21 simply because the other ones were too plush. So if you did not enjoy the plushness of the Saucony Triumph 20 and 21, this will be better for you. If you're a bit heavier, if you are a heel striker with a bit more body weight, this will also be a very interesting option for you. Much better than another shoe like the Nike Invincible, also PEBA midsole, but not as stable, and definitely a better, safer choice with this shoe. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I think this shoe may trigger some questions from you because it's a popular choice, the Triumph, and hopefully this new version will get some attention and we'll get some questions to answer in the comments. Thanks a lot for watching. Enjoy your run today, enjoy your ride, and let's link to the review of the Saucony Endorphin Speed 4. Much softer and much more snappy than this shoe, but actually maybe a good training companion for the Triumph 22. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.